Hey Diva Nation, today's episode I'm testing 2 beers from Cleveland, Ohio. One of them is Tasty Treats, while the other one is meh. And we paid tribute to beer through some beer poetry. I write some thank you notes and so much more. Stay tuned! Warning, what you're about to watch is purely for my own mental well-being. But let's face it, it's some pretty funny stuff. You're about to witness a crazy diva hitting her midlife crisis, and it's all on camera with a little help from her friends. Viewer discretion is not advised. Beer Divas, 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 Beer Divas. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Beer Divas show, where wine is dumb and the craft beer world has taken over the dull American beer scene once and for all. I'm your host, Dr. Brewsky, and today we're going to start off the show with one of my favorite segments, beer reviews. It's beer review time. All right, so I have 2 Cleveland beers today, and they're totally different styles of beer. We've got the first one, which is by Sibling Revelry Brewing Company, and that's out of Westlake, Ohio, which is, in Cleveland. And we're going to try the American Red Ale, which to me would be something maybe of an Irish spin on maybe an Irish red ale. The ABV on this is 5.5%, so it's pretty light. So hey, let's get it cranking, right? I love that sound. Ooh, we got foamies. Wow, right away, dark, very amber. Okay, so right away, it's pretty frothy. It's got a good head on it. Pretty dark, like very nutty. I would assume it would be caramely in taste. They must have roasted the malt stuff and to give it that color. I mean, that's pretty dark. Let's give it a smell. Yeah, I can definitely smell like toasted almonds. Caramely. I get just a little hops here, so this is probably going to be a little dry. Yep, smells like a red ale. Let's give it a try. Wow. Definitely a wonderful red ale, American red ale. God, that is very good. If you guys like, let's say, a Newcastle, most people have had a Newcastle brown ale before. This is very, very similar to that. It has a wonderful, wonderful taste to it. Not too dry at the finish. A little bit dry like a Pilsner, but you still get a little bit of a linger of that flavor. Very caramely. Not too hoppy at all. Smooth going down. Wow, that is a great American red ale. Definitely. They describe it as an American red ale brewed in Irish tradition with UK malts providing toasted caramel flavors and finished with American hops. Not too hoppy at all. Very, very good. Yeah, definitely something that, maybe, you're out at a campfire or something and you're toasting marshmallows, I mean, this beer would go great with something like that. Maybe you have a burger or a steak or something. I think this would be a great pairing with that. So my rating on the Sibling Revelry Red American Ale is 8.3. Yeah, love it. This is something that you probably don't want to drink necessarily right now, as the spring is coming on, summertime. This is more of a fall beer, winter beer, if you want something a little lighter than a stout or a porter. This would go great with a heavier soup, or a charcuterie board when you have your meats and your cheeses. This would definitely stand up to any red ale that's on the market. A Marzen would be great. It's a lot lighter than a porter or a stout. This is just outstanding. Wow, that is a really, really great beer. Way to go, Sibling Revelry. All right, cleansing the palate a little bit. Okay, so that's Sibling Revelry's Red Ale. The next one that we're going to try today is from Platform. One of my new favorites. I'm trying all kinds of their beers, and I'll tell you what, they've got a little bit of everything, and hopefully we can get up to the tap room and talk with one of the reps and check them out. But this one is called Open Market. And it is a Nordic style white ale, and it's got peachy and apricot tones to it. Let me see what the back of it says. It tells you, I like how Platform on their cans, it tells you what kind of grains, hops, yeast, and different things that they use in their beer, so you can check it out. So the grain on this is, you have 2-row white wheat, flaked oats, flaked wheat, and honey malt. The hop is Warrior, the yeast is Vas Quebec, and the adjunct, which is peach and apricot. So it's either fruit or puree, I'm not sure which, but that's something that we could talk to them about. So anyway, this should be pretty crisp and clean, a great spring and summertime beer. Let's give it a try. Oh, the ABV on that's 4.8, so real light. I would assume this would be really, really light colored and pretty light flavoring. Oh yeah. So we got the good old Platform here. So right away it's pretty hazy, so it's unfiltered. Pretty effervescent, got a little bit of a head on it, not as much as the red ale did. Oh, right away, I smell, and I can't tell really the difference between apricot and peach, but I smell the fruit. Definite fruit smell. Yeah, wow. Doesn't smell hoppy at all. Yeah, okay. Hey, my favorite part, let's give it a try. Wow. Not necessarily what I expected from this. You definitely get a punch of peach flavor. Punch right in your face as you're drinking this. You got a flavor that kind of lingers a little bit, not very hoppy. It's crisp, it's clean kind of thing. Definitely get that peachy apricot flavor to it. And then you got like some kind of weird aftertaste going on. Okay, my rating for Platform Open Market Peach and Apricot is 7.1. Yeah, I think Platform missed it on this one. It kind of tastes like cough medicine. And that's not what I want my beer to taste like. So that one I'm definitely out on. I'm switching my, I shouldn't have even given it a 7.1. It should have been lower, but I'll stick with my 7.1. You get that cough medicine like taste that just lingers in your mouth. What's up with that platform? Come on. I know you're thinking springtime, summertime, you know, chick kind of beer, but I'm telling you, I'm a chick and I want some good flavor. I do not want cough medicine in my beer. Oh God, that was just not very good. So that's we're putting that over here. I'm not even finishing that one. So the kind of the winner today is the Sibling Revelry up in Cleveland, Ohio, in Westlake. And it's their American Red Ale. So definitely check that out. This is a really good beer, especially in the fall, winter time. It's early spring now in Ohio, and so we're getting more into the shandies and the wits and the Hefeweizens, but you know, the summer ale kind of thing. But this is a really, really strong red ale. It is great. Strong meaning great flavor, not strong meaning you know, it's strong tasting. Oh, you know, on the back of this, it also has the hops is Nugget, can't read it, Nugget, Camel, and Cascade. The malt is Pale and Crystal. So there, I like that when they say that stuff on the back, because it kind of tells you, you know, what they're doing. That's pretty freaking cool. Okay. All right, next up is some poetry about beer. Stay tuned. These are all poems about beer. And what you're going to find is that all of these poems that we're going to read aloud today are from different times of history, and that the human condition, we all go through the same things, right? Good things, bad things. We celebrate, we have trials and tribulations, and I thought, what better thing to go through life's trials and tribulations or festivities than with some beer. Let's celebrate beer over some poetry, shall we? All right, the first one we are going to do is called Beer by Charles Bukowski from Love is a Mad Dog from Hell, 1920 to 1994. So I'm not quite sure when it was written, but that's when this was done. I don't know how many bottles of beer I've consumed while waiting for things to get better. I don't know how much wine and whiskey and beer, mostly beer, I have consumed after splits with women, waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for the sound of footsteps and the phone to ring. Waiting for the sounds of footsteps and the phone never rings until much later, and the footsteps never arrive until much later. When my stomach is coming up out of my mouth, they arrive as fresh as spring flowers. What the hell have you done to yourself? It will be 3 days before you come back me. The female is durable. She lives 7½ years longer than the male, and she drinks very little beer because she knows it's bad for the figure. While we are going mad, they are out dancing and laughing with horny cowboys. Well, there's beer. Sacks and sacks of empty beer bottles. And when you pick one up, the bottle fall through the wet bottom of the paper sack. rolling, clanking, spilling gray wet ash and stale beer, or the sacks fall over at 4 a.m. in the morning, making the only sound in your life beer, rivers and seas of beer, the radio singing love songs as the phone remains silent and the walls stand straight up and down, and beer is all there is. Wow, let's give him a toast to that. So we've all been, through breakups, or, maybe we're dating somebody new and we're like, hey, this is great. And then they never call. And then we get depressed, or they break up with us, or we see them out with someone else and we get a little depressed. Well, who comes to the rescue but a nice malty beverage called beer? Let's celebrate. Okay, our next beer poem is called The Empty Bottle by William A. Toone, 1813 to 1865. So we're going back in time, right? Ah, liberty, how like thou art to this large bottle lying there, which yesterday from foreign mart came filled with potent English beer. A touch of steel, a hand, a gush, a pop that sounded far and near, a wild emotion, liquid rush, and I had drunk that English beer. And what remains? An empty shell, a lifeless form both sad and queer, a temple where no God doth dwell, the simple memory of beer. So yeah, once you're drinking one, you know what that sound is. When you put that last sip down, it's done. And you're like, do we drink anymore? Are we done? Are we going to a different place? What's going on here, right? But the good thing about today's age compared to the 1800s is there's always a refill. Cheers! The next poem is called Get Drunk by Charles Baudelaire, 1821 to 1867. Now, I have read this poem and I really enjoy this. Now, it's not, and you're going to hear this as we're reading this poem together, you're going to hear that it's not only about getting drunk with a beverage. And that's not really what it is about. It's about being drunk on life, getting as much of life as you can, no matter what it is. Live it. I don't condone alcoholism. That's not what the Beer Divas is about at all. It's about soaking up life. It's about having fun, meeting people, creating new relationships, having old friends talk about memories and, things from the past, and just having as much fun as possible. So let's get down to it. So get drunk. Always be drunk. That's it. The great imperative. In order not to feel time's horrid fardel bruise your shoulders, grinding you into the earth, get drunk and stay that way. On what? On beer, poetry, virtue, whatever, but get drunk. And if you sometimes happen to wake up on the porches of a palace, in the green grass of a ditch, in the dismal loneliness of your own room, your drunkenness gone or disappearing, you ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock. Ask everything that flees, everything that groans or rolls or sings, everything that speaks. Ask what time it is. And the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will answer you, it's time to get drunk. Don't be martyred, slave of time. Get drunk, stay drunk on beer, virtue, poetry, whatever. Wow, let's drink to that one. Especially with us getting out of the COVID whole thing, the pandemic, we've got to start living our lives again. We have to start soaking up that human spirit, the spirit of adventure, the spirit of optimism, the spirit of love. There has been so many things going on in the world and so much negativity. We need to get drunk on life again. And of course, beer can help that, especially a great beer. But it's not just about that. It's about being free. It's about freedom of expression, of imagination, and of creativity. So let's all get together, grab a brewski, and toast to getting drunk on life. Thank you, Charles Baudelaire, for your wonderful poem about getting drunk on life. I tend to do no less. Thank you, Dr. Ahab, for always making me smile and being my friend no matter what. Okay, too sappy. I'll move on. Thank you, Platform Beer Company, for experimenting with different flavors, although cough medicine shouldn't be one of them. Well, that's it for the show today. Hit the subscribe and bell notification buttons below so you don't miss any episode. What's your favorite beer? I'd love to know. Hit us up in the comments below. If you know anybody that wants to be on the Beer Divas show, or you're a beer rep and want us to sample your tasty beverages, hit us up below or go to thebeerdivas.com for more information. And that's it for the show today. Remember this, don't worry, be happy.